friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher. Today we're going to be covering dermaplaning. So if this is something you have been curious about and wondering if you would be a candidate for this, what are the benefits of it? Is it safe? Lots of questions on this topic. We're going to cover it all today, and I'm actually going to be trying it for the first time. And I know what you're thinking. How can you be an expert if you have never tried it? This is why I'm trying it, because it is something that I recommend to a lot of my clients to do, like before their weddings. I do a lot of bridal makeup. And I feel like I can't really talk the talk unless I have walked the walk. So today I am going to be doing it for the first time on myself. We're going to be using the Versed Instant Gratification at Home Dermaplaning Tool. And we're going to try it out, and I'm going to bring you along on my journey. But I am aware of a lot of the concepts behind it. I've just never done it myself. So I thought for the first time that I try it out, we're going to do a video on this and talk about it and use it together. And I'll be your guinea pig and let you see what it is like. So if that interests you, stick around and let's dive right on in. Okay, so let's start with the question, what is dermaplaning? So dermaplaning is basically, it's not really shaving your face, but it is taking a razor across your face, and you're going to be kind of scraping off a top layer of skin. I know it sounds a little scary. You do have to be careful with it. You don't want to cut yourself, but it is something that can be done at home using certain at-home tools. A lot of people will go to a dermatologist and go into an office for this also, but it is one of those where you can get at-home tools to do it yourself. So it is different from, say, microdermabrasion. So you might have heard of microdermabrasion, or maybe you do it yourself, and this is an exfoliant as well. So this is an exfoliant. It's a type of exfoliant, just a very deep level of exfoliant. There is also dermabrasion, which is more in an office setting where you have a dermatologist or someone surgically working on your face, smoothing things out. So a little bit different nuances between these different methods. Now, dermaplaning, though, is, let's talk about some of the benefits, why you would use it. So if you're somebody who has a lot of acne scarring, or just like texture that's like pits in your face, and it's actual scars in your face that you can't really get to and heal with your normal skincare routine, this might be something you want to consider, because it's going to scrape off literally some of this scarring. It's also something to think about, though, for people like me who have fine lines and wrinkles. These kinds of deep-seated wrinkles are very hard to treat in skincare. You know, I can put over a surface skincare that's going to help a little, that's going to make it look smoother, but like, I'm not going to get into that level of skin. I'm just not with my skincare treatments. So things that are very deep set, you know, some of these textural things like that, dermaplaning can be great for. It's also great for people with a lot of peach fuzz. You know, some people get more facial hair than others. You might have things like PCOS, you know, any hormonal things going on. You just might have facial hair that bothers you. We all naturally have some facial hair, and you're going to see, like, when you start removing it, I think that you're probably going to have facial hairs in there you never knew about. So we all have some level of facial hair, but some just have more pronounced than others. So a great tool for those folks as well. I think a lot of people assume that dermaplaning is for folks with like facial hair, but it's not just limited to problems with facial hair. This is part of why I had avoided it for a while, was because I thought, well, I don't really have facial hair. Why would I ever need this? You know, those razors are for people that need to, like, you know, treat their facial hair. But no, this is kind of a form of an exfoliant too, that has pretty powerful results. And it's something that us freelance makeup artists really, really recommend to our brides and clients. These kinds of things in their skincare treatments to be doing way ahead of their big day. because of the incredible results that you can see from just doing dermaplaning. So other things that you can even look into are problems with sun damage in your face. So you'll notice my skin, this is like age spots going on here. You know what this is from? This is from sun damage. I live in Florida. I was horrible about using my sunscreen and taking care of my skin when I was younger. I didn't care. I thought that's for old people. I'll worry about that when I'm older. And this is the result. So it can even help with this kind of thing. So I don't necessarily have acne scarring, but I have more of this, it can lead even like dullness in the skin, even very dry skin can help with that as well. And definitely damage from sun exposure. So it turns out that I am actually a candidate for this and can really benefit from dermaplaning. And so this is why I'm like, okay, we need to do this. And I need to set the tone and be an example for my clients and not just send my clients out to do this when I haven't done it for myself. But let's talk about really quickly some folks who should use caution and might not should do dermaplaning. If you have any active acne, so if it's not so much acne scarring left over from acne, but you have a lot of acne popping up right now, currently you probably should not do it because you're going to rub over that active stuff going on and you're going to irritate it. Similarly, if you have any other issues where you're breaking out from like psoriasis, eczema, you have more problems like that, you should avoid it because this is going to irritate it. Open that stuff wide open. You're not going to want to do that. So, my cousin asked me about it a long time ago, but she is a cancer patient. She went through cancer. She is a survivor. Praise the Lord. But she, I told her, make sure you consult a doctor first because if you've been through radiation, you need to consult somebody first. So things like that, it can, burns from the radiation in your skin, cold sores, any of those kinds of things that could be live, active, what have you. That's where you should proceed with caution. I will point out too, I have moles. Here is a mole that I have going on. I have, I think that's my only like true mole. Now I have very small ones too, but this is a pretty textured mole right here. In addition, if you have any skin tags, so things that can be pulled on when you're using, a razor on it, those are the things that you need to avoid. So when I do this today, I am not going to get anywhere near this mole, just to be careful. Also, you want to avoid your eye area. So the places where you're not going to use this is going to be anywhere around the brows and eyes, not your lips. And also you want to avoid your nose. So I didn't realize that, but we're not going to do the nose either. So it's just going to be chin, cheeks, forehead kind of area. Okay. I also will tell you that there are some risks as well. This is something that, if done wrong or it goes bad, could leave scarring, could even lead to infection, especially if you've not really, cleaned and washed your face well. Could also lead to more discoloration in the skin. So hopefully fairly rare, but there are always risks involved, especially when involving a razor. But I feel like it's not much more so than shaving your legs and shaving your armpits that we do every day, So, but just keep that in mind. Also understand I'm not an esthetician and I am not a doctor. I'm not licensed. So just that disclaimer, I am here as a beauty influencer and sharing my experience with you and sharing some of the things I have learned from the professionals, but I am not licensed on this myself. So I do want to give you that disclaimer. And then a couple other things that they say you might experience. I'm going to do it in just a few minutes and I'm going to tell you what my experience is and you're going to see it with your own eyes. But, it could be slightly like tingly, slightly irritated, but it shouldn't be too bad. They say you shouldn't be experiencing pain from this. It could be slightly irritated, for even a few days, but the redness or anything will hopefully go down. But things to look for would be if it continues to persist. You may also notice little itchiness or even, more enlarged pores more than usual, more whiteheads, that kind of thing, but it should be kind of in the process of like almost scabbing up and falling off is what that's supposed to be doing, especially if you're doing an in-office version of this where they are going to, they're probably going to go even deeper than what we're going to do at home. But just some things to think about that, you know, could come up with for you. I think if you're doing the one at home, you need to kind of plan it for when you're not going to be really like out in the sun too. But that is not the case of what I'm seeing on the instructions on this. Verst's instructions for their dermaplaning tool that we're going to use is that you could do this once every 1 to 3 weeks. I think if you have an office visit, you can do a lot less than that. This is kind of, it could even just be a one-time thing or ever so often, but not that frequently. Whereas the at-home one, you can do more often. Now, you will notice that the hair will come back. This is not a one-time thing where you scrape it and the hair is just gone forever. This is not a hair removal thing. It's that hair will grow back for you. Some of the questions I have gotten are definitely, is this going to make your hair grow back more and more frequently? Because if you heard that saying, or like some people say, like when they shave their legs a lot, it makes their hair grow faster and they have to shave it more often, whereas if they leave it alone, their hair is slower to grow. Apparently this is a myth, is what the professionals say, is that it's not going to make your hair grow even more, or like, okay, if you scrape your face for the first time, that suddenly you are going to start getting a bunch of facial hair. They say that's a myth. I'll be honest that I'm a little nervous about that myself. I don't have problems with that, so I don't want to do anything that's going to cause more growth. But this is it's a form of an exfoliant, is how you want to think of it, is we're just removing some of the top layers of your skin so that we can allow what is underneath to come up as new skin and have, you know, have a healing process. So it's looking more youthful and glowing more and removing some of that crap you want to get rid of up here on the top. That is the aim of what we're doing with dermaplaning. So let's get started. Any other directions? We want to make sure that we have washed our face properly. This one in particular from Verst is vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, dye-free, all of that. They have no parabens, silicone, sulfates, petroleums, or mineral oil, which you wouldn't really have those things in a razor. However, their whole brand is like clean and vegan and cruelty-free. And one of the reasons I love this brand, and this is why I went with them in my first, you know, tool ever doing it. I wanted to try them because I trust their brand. I've used a lot of products from them before. Now, this particular one was gifted to me by them, but I picked it out because I wanted to try the dermaplaning tool, and I had been wanting to try it for a long time. So just a little bit about that. And this particular one has a reusable handle and 2 replaceable blades. So if you are sticking with, say you did it even just once a month, then that means it's going to last you for, what, 3 months? This will get you 3 months worth of dermaplaning. All right, so let's open it up and we're going to start going at it. I am just going to use, ooh, that does look scary, doesn't it? Coming at your face. Something coming at, you know, a big blade coming at your face is definitely a little scary. I am not going to lie. I feel y'all. I feel y'all. It does not instruct us to put anything down first, like no shaving cream or anything like that. You just are going to wash and dry your face. So you do want to have a dry face. You're going to hold the tool up to your skin at a 45-degree angle and glide it down along the contours of your face in short, gentle strokes. I've watched several people do dermaplaning, so I'm going to imitate them. Another thing I've heard is, you know, this is going to help with your makeup, just making your makeup look better. Everything's going to look better. So another benefit. It was Nikki LaRose. She said, if your makeup isn't makeuping, give this a shot. Okay, I'm going to start in this area because this is where I have the most spots I want gone. And I want my forehead wrinkles gone too, guys. But so I'm going to hold it where we're making the skin pretty tight and we're going to hold it at this 45, is that 45 degrees? No, 45 degrees angle, and very slowly start scraping. I'm going very gently at the moment. Okay. And I can tell, can you guys see that? Wow. It's like I can see the layers coming off. Look at that. Holy moly. Like I could see it just, let's see. Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm trying to see if I can focus the camera at all. Do you see that peach fuzz? I had no idea any of that existed on my face. Wow. And I can literally see the line of where it went over. And also, I want to go ahead and point out, it does not feel nearly as scary as it sounds. This does not feel so sharp that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to slice. It's not like a sharp, sharp knife. It's not going to, like it feels pretty safe. I just want to let you guys know that. And I started off very soft while I was getting used to it. And you go in like pretty quick movements, but not so quick that you're going to like cut yourself. So just start off slow, getting the feel of it. And then you kind of just go in very small little sections around. All right, guys, now we are going to go for the forehead where the wrinkles are. Oops, I don't think I'm holding it 45 degrees. There we go. I mean, can you just see it? I can actually see dead skin. It's flaking away. I don't know if y'all can see it in the air, but I can see it falling like right in front of my eyes here. Now, one thing they did say in the instructions was don't keep coming back over the same spots. Just do it like once. And I'm not going fast enough too. So just trying to make sure I've covered it all. Wow. Wow. I think a big part of this is like, I have very dry skin right now and it's just flaking off. So again, perfect for those with dry skin. Okay, now I'm going to try to hold the skin area too. But I don't want to go too close to my nose or eyes. I'm mostly, these are my problem spots the most. I'm not going to try the neck. I'm a little nervous about bringing a razor around my neck. But that's the face for now. Wow. You guys, actually, I feel like I can feel like my skin feels smoother and softer just after doing that. And I haven't put any skincare on. It says wipe, clean, and replace the safety cap after each use. Replace the blade after 4 uses. So you could actually reuse this blade a few times. I feel like we need to clean it off though. Yeah, so wipe it down, clean it, and I don't know what we wipe it or clean it with. I'll have to look that up. But basically, clean this up and then you can put the cap back on and you can reuse the blade another 3 times before you replace it. So really you could get months worth of use out of this whole kit since it comes with 2 more replacement blades. But that is it, guys. My very first dermaplaning session ever I've done myself. So how does it feel? Right now it feels about like how it feels after I exfoliate with a physical exfoliant. Sometimes if you've been scrubbing at your face, it has that, I mean, you know how it feels if somebody's coming over your face with a sandpaper, like with a microdermabrasion. It feels a little raw, like somebody's been rubbing your skin with that. So that's kind of how it feels right now, but it's not too bad. If you have very sensitive skin, I did not look that up about those with sensitive skin and if this is recommended for you. you would probably want to go very soft and carefully at first. Um, you know, maybe even just try one little spot first and test it out and see how it does a few days later before you do like your whole face if you tend to have very sensitive skin, and see how this works for you. But um, you know, obviously this did not disappear after one use, but I feel like I could see layers just coming off of my skin after I did it. Did you guys? And I feel like the texture right now in my skin is just smoother overall just after using it one time. Amazing. So anyway, for me, I'm thinking I'm probably going to just try to do this like once a week. It says 1 to every 3 weeks, maybe once a month I might do it and see how that goes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful for you. Let me know if you're brave enough to try it out. I will try to put the link to this particular dermaplaning down in my caption for you to find it. Any other questions you have, feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you guys have tried it and what your results have been and what your experience has been. And make sure that you stick around, stay tuned, and pop that subscribe button, because I love to bring more like this, more videos like this one. I will probably bring you something on some other tools, microcurrent. I've talked about LED lights before, but you know, some of these other different devices and different skincare treatments and things you can be doing for your skin to make a huge difference. I hope to bring you some more of these videos so you won't want to miss it. So yeah, turn your notification bells to on, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.